ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another scouting report. In today's video, I am going to be doing a scouting report on Greg Brown, a power forward slash center out of Texas. He is a athletic freak and has a 6'9" height, 6'10" wingspan. Before we get into it, like and subscribe. I have to say that because YouTube stuff. But anyways, let's just get into it. Sorry for taking so long. All right. So, the first thing anyone who watches anything about Greg Brown will notice is that he's a freakish athlete. He is a great leaper off 1 and 2. He runs the floor very well in transition, and he would be a monster in the open floor. I think that he has very, very good athletic upside in the NBA. He's an elite athlete, and I think that he has a lot of, pick and roll potential or whatever athletic stuff you can come up with. I think he could be a solid role man in the NBA, personally. I think he could have some roll gravity to the rim. But outside of that, not much is talked about his game, and for good reason. Because outside of being athletic, he's not doing that much outside of being an athlete. He has solid looking shot mechanics. He shot 30% from 3 in college. I think he could shoot about 34% from the 3 in the NBA, but most of those were on wide open catch and shoots, and I don't think that he will be a good shooter in the NBA. I think he'll be passable, but I don't really think he's going to have much gravity off ball. I don't think that he's going to have much of an impact as a shooter. I think he could one day, and he has the potential to grow into something as far as a shooter, but I don't see him ever getting to much above league average, maybe 37% on limited attempts, but, he does have good off-ball cutting feel. That's about the only good thing I could say about feel as far as he's concerned. That and shot blocking. He had a lot of points where he could have cut off ball though, and he didn't. I don't think that I think that could be coached into him, and he has a decent enough feel right now. But I think that is something he could improve on. He gets a lot of offensive boards and crashes the glass offensively very well. He gets a lot of putback opportunities. One thing about his rebounding though is once you get him boxed out and on your back, he's not getting past you really. He doesn't have the strength to really fight through those boxes, and that could be something that teams could look at and be like, do we really want this kid? With his athleticism, he does bring momentum swinging plays. He could be a great hype player, someone who could come off the bench, get the momentum swinging in the other direction. And another thing I've noticed is that he shows flashes of taking people off the dribble. At a small ball 5, that could be used against slower footed bigs if they, say, put out like Brook Lopez if you're playing the Bucks, and he gets the ball in like a one-on-one against him, he could probably take him off the dribble. That's just an example that came to my mind because the Bucks are playing, but I don't think he can do that against many players, and I don't think that'll be something that he's asked to do a lot in the league. He doesn't have the tightest handle. He doesn't really have much shot creating ability. Most of the things I saw him do were taking it to the rack, and I mean, if you have like a DeAndre Ayton or a Bam Adebayo or even forwards, he's not really going to be able to do much against them off the dribble. On defense, he is not a good defender at all. He does not defend well off ball. He gets blown by a lot, backdoored. On ball, he doesn't move his feet as well as he could. He gets blown by a decent bit. He's not a strong shot contester. His shot contests don't have much impact. He bites on pump fakes way too much, gets into the air too easy. I will say he does have a really good second bounce, but on the first bounce, most of the time, that's it for the NBA. He's going to fall for foul baiting a lot and all that kind of jazz. He has a meh touch around the rim. He does, always try and make an impact. He's a good hustle player. He's a very, very legit lob threat. He has potential as a shot blocker because he is a very, very good vertical jumper. But, I'm just not really sold on him defensively. He has the frame to be something, and he has the athleticism to be something for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised if one day, if he gets into a very, very good defensive coach, like, Tom Thibodeau maybe, someone who could really teach him discipline and could get him to really drill in on certain things on defense. I think he has potential to be a very solid defender, but I don't really think he will be that from day one at all. I think he will be a very, very bad defender initially. And if you play him in the playoffs, he will be targeted over and over and over again by, guards. He will get the Michael Porter treatment. He will get just obliterated and targeted. And I think that offensively he could be used as a roll man, but I don't think he could be used much outside of that. He has some upside on that end just because of his athleticism, but he's really only talked about a lot due to his athleticism. So I'm not super big on Greg Brown. He's probably an early second rounder on my board. He's my least favorite of the prospects that I've covered, just as a prospect. I don't really want the Nuggets to take him personally as a Nuggets fan. He could maybe fill in a role here or there, but I think people are just looking at his highlights and not really looking at the player that he is. Just the 2 minutes of him postering people, which are great, don't get me wrong. He has great dunks, very good lob threat, but he's not much outside of that at the moment. He has potential to be, but I don't really think that he'll be much in the NBA. So that's my perspective on things. Let me know in the comments what you think of him and what prospects you would like me to cover. Thanks for watching. See ya.